Today is July the 27th, 2021. I'm in North Birmingham, Alabama with the residents at North Birmingham Tower Apartments. We are here today to have a conversation about the community, the history of the community, the history of the people, to preserve the history of North Birmingham, and to also talk about the pollution that has been ripping the community apart. So the purpose of this conversation is to shed light, to give a voice to the residents of this community, and to get to understand what has been going on in North Birmingham. I know from a personal standpoint, growing up, I grew up in the 90s, obviously. I grew up in the 90s, and North Birmingham was very, very vibrant. Like, green trees, the North Birmingham part, we used to just walk there and play, and it's not that anymore. And so, I just wanted to talk to y'all, about what's going on. I know, Melinda, thank you for putting this together, bringing everyone here in this space. So let's just get started on this conversation. So since you're to my left, I'm just gonna ask you to tell me about yourself. Tell me about where you grew up and how your childhood was.
I grew up in North Birmingham on 27th Street. My childhood was okay. We all, I grew up in the 60s.
In the 60s.
I grew up. And we used to play around, but it just was rough afterwards. Started getting sick next time.
Started getting sick.
Yeah, me and my twin, we started getting sick, and everything just started coming down. Then my dad, he was getting sick, and he died from the pollution here in 2000.
How did he pass away?
He passed away with, he was used for
Oh, he was working at a SIPCO. Did anybody else here work at a SIPCO?
I did with my father.
Okay. You
My
worked
father
at
worked out at Superco.
Okay. Anybody else have family that worked at a SIPCO?
I did.
Okay.
I had a dad and an uncle who worked there.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up a few blocks from Cisco Bike Shop, and you could feel all the sand, dust falling on your skin, getting the paint in your cars and stuff.
Mm.
And it gave my dad, what they call it, meningioma.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he got from it.
Mm. That's how your dad passed away.
I remember when my dad passed away from cancer.
He did.
And he worked at Superco Bike Shop for 40 years.
What kind of cancer was it?
I really don't know what kind of cancer. I wasn't in Birmingham at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was in California, but he died from cancer.
Okay.
And he didn't smoke.
He didn't smoke.
But he did pull iron.
Mm.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it. And he got burnt.
Got
on his
burnt?
back. So, I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Anybody here have asthma? Yeah? 2, 3. Asthma? Y'all? You have asthma? No? I had asthma growing up. I just remember the smell. I don't know if y'all remember it. I don't know if it still goes on today, but this pungent smell in North Birmingham, and it made it really hard for me to breathe. And I didn't know about the factories at that time, but I'm pretty sure that's why I got asthma. Even though I didn't live here, I came here often because my great grandmother lived here. So you say your father passed away from cancer, and obviously a lot of people in the room had people pass away from cancer, mesothelioma. Yeah, okay. So what was Birmingham like when you were a kid?
I don't know, but I moved away.
You moved away?
I moved away from 19.
What was Birmingham like for y'all as children?
Birmingham was a nice place to live.
Yeah.
I was around the community, like Carterville, Tillville, I mean, Pratt Hill, all of it.
Mhm.
It was a nice place to live, and nice people. You know, we got along very well in our community. And,
What was it like you?
but still, there was a lot of factories around our community.
Mhm.
I mean, all around it. Like we were blocked in, we was in the middle of it.
Mhm.
Because that's a lot of ways we make living.
Right. You didn't think about it.
We didn't think about it, we were young and we endured it. We
Mhm.
made it.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, it was nice for me. I grew up in West End, go back to the ballpark, and we stayed at the baseball game all the time, so we always constantly had something to do over there, so it was nice for me.
Mhm. Yeah. What school did y'all?
I went to West End High School.
I went to Carver High.
You went to
It's in
Carver?
college, it's in college.
Okay.
down there was over.
Oh, it's in Mobile. Okay. Did anybody go to the North Birmingham school over here? The one that's closed down?
One,
How long that's been closed?
I don't know.
For a while.
It's been a while.
Mhm.
I was the first class in that school. In Carver.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, my daddy went to Carver. He used to go to the reunions over here, but they don't have them anymore.
Yes, they do.
They do?
Yeah.
My bad. Tell me about it.
They have them up in the park in, North Birmingham Park.
Mhm.
Yeah, they still have.
I didn't know that.
And they got a new Carver High School,
Oh, word.
brand new. It's not too far from me.
Right over here.
Do y'all have any memories about like segregation, the civil rights movement, wars, anything like that?
Well, we lived through that era.
Yeah.
I know I'm a lot older than you, but the community I come out of, they had two baseball teams. They had a white Civico team and a black Civico team. The white boys' part was nice, but what our part was, they used to dynamite lime rocks out of there. And they'll fly clean out of that hole, clean up in the stands and shit. And it's just the grace of the good Lord that didn't nobody never get hit by damn one of them stones.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about anybody from over here on this side? Do you guys have any memories growing up here in North Birmingham?
I don't have any memories about being here, but what I want to know was, like around over there in North Birmingham where they built this big mountain thing, I think to shield the people from what was coming out of the plant. Did y'all ever see that?
No.
You see, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They didn't build anything.
No, I'm talking
It's
about.
just-
It's something like a big mountain.
Soot, yeah, a coal,
Over there,
looks like coal.
Slough.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh-huh.
North Birmingham, as Tamara said, was a very beautiful place. My grandmother moved over here when I was in 5th grade. The whole community has changed. There is so much this community right here, it's called the Avenue. My family and I were discussing it last night. It's very vibrant. They had stores. Right now, we're like a food desert.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 grocery stores here at the time. Southern and Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
And then you had the Morgantown, you had all these stores all up and down this community, the food stamp office, the library was across the street. Everything was in distance, and I think that is part of the reason why they built this facility right here, because you can access anything right here. This building was built in the 80s.
Mm.
So the people who have been here are able to access and were able to access more things than probably other facilities of this type in other places. So it has changed the greenery, the apartments, and as with the homes, the housing. And that has to do, I think, with heredity, with people dying, folk moving out, children taking over, fewer homeowners, and the drug infestation and the pandemic. pandemic that has come into the community, it has really, since I've been here, this facility has changed. This is a totally different concept of what it was when I came here in 2004. But we still got some things that are still in place, but some things they've changed over time. And I think, losing some of that stuff has to do with the political system, not tending to it properly, because there's so much, deprivation in North Birmingham that it's ridiculous as you compare it to what's going on over in Avondale, you know, and it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't have happened. Some places are really growing in Birmingham. Some places, now you go in Avondale, it's grown tremendously. It has grown. And that's why I think the political system has really rocked a lot of what's going on in North Birmingham. It's not cared for the way it should.
How do y'all feel about the political system here?
Well, I don't get into politics.
Mm-hmm.
Me and the politics don't mix at all.
They don't mix.
It goes to one, it goes to the other.
Mhm.
Me. They know what a bunch of lies.
But
Yeah.
basically, what I would say to that, Mr. Wright, not to cut you off, politics is what drives your life here.
Well, that's about
Well,
concern, I mean, too.
She wants to hear you.
but what they doing now
She
is,
wants to hear you, Mr.
everything they doing now is gonna be linked to, they done built a football stadium down there in, down there by the Top Golf. But everything they doing now is building toward the white for people, cause down 31, they gonna change all this, gonna have barbecue places and all this stuff, gonna be catered toward the stadium, so that people can have access to the stadium more easily. They gonna cut off some of the roads so that to make it wider, to have easy access to the stadium. So everything they putting down now, going down 31, they gonna put a subway down there and everything else. They supposed to tear down that old Calway hospital and put a motel there, and put another grocery store and stuff there, you know, so all this is catered toward that stadium. It's not for us, it's just catered toward that stadium. And you know, Alabama State cannot play in that stadium because it can't hold it. It was all geared for UAB, our football only.
I think what we're looking at is regentrification to some extent.
Absolutely.
That's exactly.
She wants to hear you. She can't hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, turn this way so I can hear you.
She can't hear you.
I'm gonna put it just as blunt as I can,
Okay.
I mean, I know how to put it. I think they're trying to move people of color out. Exactly what I believe. I know the people who was in Southtown Project, and that's not in North Birmingham, I mean, is that they want to move them out on, let me see what, you call the place, I mean, but it's way out, it's up from, the Palisades, on down the little road. Okay, I had a daughter who lived out there. It wasn't nothing out there. You couldn't go to the store if you didn't have a car. I mean, but just little simple things, I mean, you know. And they were talking about moving those peoples out there on, what you call that road back that's real popular? I can't call what the road is, but they'll move and they won't move those peoples out there. But actually, when she was out there for the 35 years before she passed, is that there was nothing out there. Not even the bus. It came for the cerebral palsy center and turned around. It didn't go up in the community. And I think it was just a shame that they took the kids from out of Winona and put them way out there. And it was the younger kids, I mean, from 1 to 4 or 5, grades, you know, the younger kids.
Right.
And I could have went along with it a little better if there had been older kids. But
They
A
just-
young kid, beginning in the first grade, didn't have no business that far off from home
Yeah.
and wouldn't have known no way to get back into Winona.
Mhm.
And, I just can't understand, why we allowed that to happen.
Mm.
Cause it primarily affect people of color.
Mhm. Black people, more specifically, black people for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. You were saying something?
Yes. I don't know what year we talking about Winona, but, I went to Winona Elementary School, and that school has always been right there where it is now, where Lawson State, Administration Building is. That's what elementary school was. And the high school was right there where the school is right now.
Right.
So that's always been there, except for before then, it was right around the corner in what they call Winona Camp. So it's I never know to be nowhere else. But then when we talk about politics, our politics is the last, person that was like doing something in our favor for people of our color was Larry Langford. Larry Langford told the city that he was gonna take 1% and raise it up on the taxes. And a lot of people that's not of our color, they wanna go along with that. And Larry Langford stood and told them they could take their business and go on with it because he's gonna do that. He did it in every school, new school around here now. That's what benefited from Larry Langford raising that 1 cent tax. And over there where the cross splits is, Larry Langford also told them that if the kids over across the mountain can have facilities where they can swim in Olympic-sized swimming pools, run track, Olympic-sized tracks, his kids of our color gonna have the same thing right there in 5 Points West.
Right.
But once he started doing all of this, and if they hadn't, I won't say killed him, but they got him out of office, we would have had more now. But the black leaders that we have in politics now don't really, address things like that of our color. So that's one of the reasons that we don't have what we should have, because we don't have more leaders like what Larry Langford was. So there goes, a lot of our success and our, prosper. Right there with that was one man, but if we had more people that stand like he stood for us, and he didn't care what consequences, well, he done gave his life for it. And when I was looking at TV one day last year, and I was watching the Olympics. No, I was watching a tournament, a swimming tournament, and I stopped by the TV, and he said, this is one of the best facilities in the whole United States. And he said, Birmingham, Alabama, and I stopped and looked. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about right there in 5 Points West, the cross place. And that was Larry Langford. And like I said again, all of these schools, these brand new schools, is from 1 cent tax that Larry Langford put on the city of Birmingham.
Yeah. Wow.
I got a question. I've heard of Larry Langford, but I didn't know that he was responsible for it. How come they put him in prison?
Because he was doing all these things.
Yeah.
That's what they doing now, so.
Is that what you meant by, you said they pushed him out, they put him in prison?
Yeah, they put him in prison. Yeah, he got accused of a lot of things, and the way the law go, when you got people in positions to administer these laws, that they put Larry Langford in prison. A couple of months before he died, they brought him back home and let him spend with his family. And bye-bye Larry Langford. And if we don't watch out, we won't have nothing else. Because not of our color, that's who's taking over Avondale. Larry Langford wouldn't have let that happen without